everyone. Welcome back to my channel Aryan Aslam News Gaming and Sports. It's March 24, 2026, and today's news cycle is kind of impressive. We are actually covering everything from the BCCI strict new rules to the massive new signing to KKR. This is a big one. It's gonna be deep. It's gonna be making you all not physically moving your eyes from the screen. So without further ado, let's get started. First, we're going to start about the BCCI being extremely strict. The BCCI has certainly made its presence felt with many new IPL 2026 guidelines. They have officially banned match day practice on the main square, which is a major setback. What? Always we remember that the players when they go to the field, whenever we go early to see a match, or even when we see the TV, we see that the players are prepping up and warming up, and just banning that. Imagine that your batting feels a little bit off and you want to go to the pitch to fix it. No, hell no, that's not working. Because the BCCI so-called wants to make the pitch fresh until the match, and also it doesn't stop right there. As the social rules have become way more rigid, players' families are now required to travel in separate vehicles, and players have to travel in buses, and they cannot step into the families cannot step into the field at all, which literally dampens the collaborative spirit of the game. It is a corporate ship that feels a little bit too stiff for IPL. BCCI, there was no need to do this. Like, what? Even the players' personal gear is under the microscope of the league. There are now so-called new fashion police rules. Making the orange and purple cap mandatory for the first 2 overs just to get that VIP shot of that players. It also doesn't matter if the sun is in the player's eyes. They want the logos for sponsorship. And also sleeveless clothes are in post match presentations is banned. If they do it the first time, it's a warning. The second time, it's going to be financially going to harm them. Like, BCCI is being really, really strict, and now how BCCI is now creating many walls. KKR is now busy tearing down those walls. While the rules are tightening, KKR has made a very bold move. They added Saurabh Dubey replacing Akash Deep. I don't think he's just a normal pacer from Vidarbha. He's literally a beast. His height is so shocking. It's literally 6'5". His release point is so high that the batsman will think that the ball just dropped from the top of Burj Khalifa. It will be quite a sight to see the batsmen struggle in front of them in Eden Gardens. It also creates a unique, this massive height also creates a unique angle that opening batsmen simply don't understand, aren't used to and don't understand. And also being a left-arm pacer is also a major plus, as he is so deadly angles at 145 clicks per hour. The batsman will be like, hey, oh, no, I'm not playing this guy. Nah, I'm not playing this guy. And since practice is banned now before matches, it will be quite a struggle for the batsman to understand this guy. As you can see in the picture, you see what Saurabh Dubey looks like, and mind you, batsman, good luck. You ain't gonna survive this, man. And the physical advantage was exactly what KKR scouts were finding the whole season. This shows that KKR wants to get extremely great cricketers and not just anybody. Also in this humid Kolkata air, they will ensure that the ball carries through the keeper like a rocket. It's a super scouting on their part. This guy is a spear for the KKR team, but let's see what is the whole army going to look like. The most probable lineup this year is looking very strong, with just with Finn Allen and Team Seifert opening. If you all know, remember what happened in the semi-final of New Zealand and South Africa, Finn Allen and Team Seifert took the bat, smashed every South African bowler like they were just 2-year-old bowling very slow balls. Even Finn Allen got a century of just 33 balls. And oh my god, Team Seifert also is a great player. Like nobody can, it is not easy to get them out. And also Ajinkya Rahane is going to help them stabilize, who is the anchor of literally the game. He will anchor the match properly. But this is where the real damage can happen. There comes the middle order's first 25.2 crore, the most expensive overseas player of the whole IPL, Cameron Green. He is also even though his formation is even though his form right now is very bad, he's dipping really hard. He still promises to be a great player, all-rounder. And if he can't handle it, who can? I don't know. And also there is Avrish Raghuvanshi, who will absolutely make sure that dominate the batting along with Cameron. And then comes our favorite finisher, Rinku Singh, who will make sure that he will be able to hit extremely hard on every ball. And then comes the spin king, Sunil Narine. He along with doing aggressive batting will also spin the ball so hard his ball will be history. And then comes Rovman Powell, our last finisher from the category, who will just smack the ball, who can just smack spinners in every direction. And there comes the pace sensations, Vaibhav Baroda and Matisha Pathirana. Vaibhav Baroda's raw speed and Matisha Pathirana's leg crunching Yorkers are absolutely going to destroy them. And then at last is Varun Chakravarti, who will power up the spin duo along with Sunil Narine. Their spin will be so good that a batsman will think twice how to hit that shot. And now, anyways, as we know, we have already covered up the KKR's management. We also have now a team whose management got a new captain. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Sunrisers Hyderabad and the new captain, Ishan Kishan. He was named as the captain. Pat Cummins is sidelined because of an injury coming up right after the Ashes. In a shocking move, they have named Ishan Kishan in the captain with Abhishek Sharma as his deputy. This is the youngest leadership duo in IPL history, and it will be interesting to see if they can manage World Cup stars like Travis Head. But it's not easy being a captain, and the pressure on Ishan is even higher given his recent explosive form on an international stage. Ishan is coming with a great World Cup performance where he played very well, especially in the finals in the competition. And also mentions to Abhishek Sharma for his half century in the final as well alongside him. He has plenty of energy, but leading at the Chinnaswamy Stadium is very difficult, especially against a team of Virat Kohli and fans. It will be like RCB, RCB, RCB. It is going to be difficult if he can pull off this. If not, then his fans will be absolutely disappointed. Beyond his captaincy, the entire tactical approach of the Sunrisers is changing. Their aggressive baseball style they plan to play is interesting, but the bowling changes will be the true test of leadership. Can a young wicketkeeper captain successfully manage the veteran international bowlers during high pressure overs? This is a defining moment for Ishan's career. As we are talking about cricket and sports, let's head back to a very important phase for Kolkata. A major heads up for everyone, please. On March 27th is looking quite dangerous. Yes, the day before the IPL, Kolkata is going to look dangerous as the Met Office issued an orange alert today. Orange alert because of the 38 degree heat has created a significant low pressure zone. We are expecting a Kalboshaki Jhor with 80 km/h winds, and it could be very, 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 very violent. The lightning is particularly concerning this year. And also, I remember last time there was a Jhor, it was during Eid day. It was during the day of Eid. Whenever the weather gets this intense, my advice is to be off your do take care of electronics. As someone who uses a lot of gear, I am telling you, unplug everything. Do not trust a UPS to handle such a surge. It could ruin your motherboard and destroy your setup. A 20-minute storm is not worth losing a high-end GPU and worked hard to save. Secure your balconies and stay safe inside. And also, the science behind the storm explains why it's going to be more powerful than usual. The science indicates that the Bay of Bengal is unusually warm, which makes the storm more intense than usual. The frequency of lightning strikes is at a 5-year high, which is a major concern. If you're planning to stream or film on Friday at Strategic Street, take a break. Safety is the only priority. And sorry, I'm extremely sorry for this cough. But anyways, if you have any plans for Friday, any picnics, any get-togethers, make sure not to go. It's very unpredictable of the storm, how strong it is going to be. It is going to be really strong. And I mind you, also don't use much of electronics, especially near iron things. If you don't want to get stuck with electric, please listen to me. Now, as Kolkata's people are now looking at the skies, India is now looking even more above the skies. With the ISRO is moving forward again, and the Gangana and Jivan mission is a superb achievement. They are launching Biomitra, a humanoid robot which will test life support and radiation levels in space. This robot will also make sure that if it is safe for the if it is written 2025 mission, it was supposed to be 2026. It must be a typo, but it is supposed to be a test of life support and radiation levels in space. It is a massive demonstration of India's engineering, showing the world that our space technology is a top tier. It is a very proud moment. The high-tech robot can only reach orbit if the launch vehicle performs perfectly. The LVM-3 rocket has been upgraded with much higher safety margins for this specific mission. We are on track to put an Indian citizen to orbit by 2027. We are no longer participants in the space race. We are leading it. A moon landing in 2040 is now feeling very real. Actually, wait, no. It feels even more real that it will happen way before 2040. The mission is also a huge win for local industries across the country. Almost every part of the mission is a part of Make in India initiative, from the heat shields to the escape system. It is all local talent. This is not just our space exploration. It's about building a powerful technology ecosystem for our future economy. ISRO is doing a fantastic job. Jai Hind! Proud Indian moment. I'm really proud of this. I'm proud to be an Indian. Next, as we see the smart people who have introduced smart tech, we are also seeing another species which is also really smart. Raccoons. It actually turns out that raccoons are actually quite intelligent and honestly, they're quite impressive. A new study from UBC shows that they're information foragers who will solve puzzles just for the challenge. Researchers gave them complex box, and even after the food was gone, the raccoons kept working on the puzzles. They are genuinely curious animals. The high intelligence is matched by physical tools that are uniquely specialized. Their paws have so many sensory nerves that they can basically see with their lunch, see what they touch. It's what they are so good making them into animal-proof bins that people spend a lot of money on. Scientists say urban raccoons are usually just evolving smarter brains to live near humans. We are just watching a species adapt in real time. I think I should better ask my parents if I can adopt a raccoon or not. I mean, who else is going to study for me? Oh, just kidding. I'm going to do so. Use this round of the joke, but I still want the raccoon. Next, we need to talk about a massive update in Roblox, which is the Roblox 40 AI creation tools founded by Cube Model. It is now the beta stage, and frankly, it is just a bit concerning. You can just type a prompt and build the entire game from them, which is also impressive. Like, for example, if you join Roblox, open Roblox Studio, and you can just type that, please create a game on a retro neon city at night time where it will be very easy to drift, and if the car honks, it will float in the air. It is all okay, but what if those stupid Gen Alpha kids goes there and write, please create a game on Tung 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 Sahur and Bombardino. Oh man. Like Roblox is, what is wrong with you? Those kids don't know coding, that's why there are not much brain rot games. And now, due to not using coding, they are literally going to create more and more brain rot games. Roblox, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh my god. What's the hell? I mean, we don't want Steal a Brain Rot 2.0 or Escape Tsunami for Brain Rots version 2. Like, no Roblox, please take this back. I don't want to generate games. I just want Roblox. I just want you to only keep non-brain rotted stuff on Roblox and bring back the coding part. Anyways, everybody is not so good. Sorry. Sorry, it happens. I don't know why it happens. But everybody is not cooked. As Real Madrid is not. Real Madrid finally broke their streak against Atletico last night. It was super performance. Vini Jr. were absolutely incredible, scoring twice and pulling off a solo run that left the defenders looking completely lost. I mean, look at the score. It's 3-2. And even after Valverde received a red card and the situation looked very difficult, they still don't care. They still pulled up a 3-2 win. I mean, it's a huge setback. I mean, Valverde won't be able to play the next match. Federico Valverde, who was literally just helping this team to actually succeed. But anyways, they defended with 10 men like true professionals. They made Atletico Madrid look like a team of 11 kids who decided to challenge 10 people. The victory was secured by a brilliant tactical change on the dugout. Ancelotti's decision to play Beckham in a deeper role was a very smart move. But wait, what am I speaking? I've gone mad. Ancelotti is not even the coach of Real Madrid. Shit, I've gone mad. I've gone mad. Oh my god. Okay. Now heading towards the last part of the news, which is I support KKR, but to be realistic, there are some concerns that are worrying me. First, having Rahane as an anchor in an era where teams score 250 in a big risk. If he cannot maintain a high strike rate, he costs the team momentum. I mean, he doesn't even hit that much. Why is he the captain? We need him to be extremely aggressive. Yeah, we need him like to score 40, 50 in just, 100 in just 50-40 balls. Also, death bowling is a bit worrying. Without Harshit Rana, Akashdeep is not so much of a problem. We already got a respect. Because without Harshit Rana, we are trusting younger players to play the game. But also, Harshit Rana was a good player who would also hit hard in the middle, in the end of the time. I mean, remember the third ODI between Indians, New Zealand. He was literally helping Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli scored a century. He scored a half century. Very rare thing for a bowler. He was literally playing the innings of his life. I mean, this is a very stressed part. Ultimately, the season now depends on how well we adapt to the changing condition of the home. Finally, the Eden Gardens pitch is playing a bit flat lately. Our spinners might not get the turn which they usually counter, which means the pace bowlers, we have to be perfect at the start. If we do not get early wickets while bowling fast, we will be chasing massive scores every night. KKR need to stay very much focused on their bowling. I am concerned completely. That is for the bulletin today. From space missions to local stalls, from the IPL to Roblox, we have covered it all. Remember to unplug your electronics before the Friday stop hits so that you do not lose your equipment. Comment down below your thoughts on the KKR news signing. Subscribe for more updates soon. I am Aryan Aslam. Stay safe and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.